friends, welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be doing a redraw of a prompt that I did long before I was a YouTuber, and I want to see how my art style have changed, how my art has progressed. And I was watching the video of one of my friends, Anna, over at Anna's drawing channel. Please check her out. And one of the things she said is not to compare yourself to other artists, but to compare yourself to yourself. And that is so true. When I first started out as a art YouTuber, I used to compare myself to other artists, and it wasn't until after I realized that, hey, guess what? I am improving myself, because when I look at my earlier works, it's far different from my newer works. And I was like, okay, and I just stopped. So what I do now is compare myself to myself, and today is one of those. But of course, before we get started, we got to get through those disclaimers. Of course, before I get started, I do have those pesky little disclaimers to get out of the way. I live near a major highway here in the country of Belize, so you will hear those motor vehicles in my background. Where I live, there's also a lot of wild birds, because I don't necessarily live in the city. And you'll hear them calling, chirping, crying in my background. And also, I have dogs. My neighbor have dogs. And if anyone come near our houses, including our fellow neighbors, you will hear those dogs start barking. And with that, I get back to my regular scheduled program. Okay, so what I have here is a sampling, I guess, of my sketchbooks. The first time I decided to go into art, this was my sketchbook right here. Okay, as you can see, it has a little plastic spiral thingy going on here. I don't know exactly what you call this, but it has this going on. And there's a clear cover. It has a little, like a Bristol board cover. And then this is not the first drawing that I've ever done when I decided I wanted to be on my journey in art. There goes my dogs. But this is the first page of this book. This book actually started on the 26th of July. How I put this book together is these are just Bristol boards. And I crudely cut them, as you can see, they're crudely cut. And I went to the local art store and I asked them just to spiral bind it with this big plastic thingy. And they did. And so this is what I started off with. And believe it or not, this book is not completed yet. There's still a lot of pages left in it, because I didn't only use white Bristol board. I used different color Bristol boards. So this book is not even completed yet. But today we'll be doing, let me see if I can get it without cheating too much, this prompt right here, this one right here. And this is from a prompt app called Redrawing prompt app. I have it on my phone. And this is basically how, when I first started to go into this journey of art, this is basically what I would do every day. I will go into the Redrawing prompt app. I'll pull up a prompt and I'll try my best to interpret that and draw it. That's just it. I still do have the app on my phone, but I don't use it as much. And but I should get to it and get back to it. Maybe one day we will go back into that app and do another drawing session. I don't know. Tell me, what do you think? If you want me to do a drawing session, put it in the description box below and I'll show you that prompt app. But for now, we decided to do this one. This one was drawn on the 11th of August, 2018, almost 2 years ago. Yeah, here's my crude drawing styled. And it's called A Dancer Wearing a Flashy Pair of Shoes. The thing that I enjoyed about the Redrawing app, it actually gave you a character and it gave you a situation for that character or a location for that character. So you really needed to work on your character design, and it actually also made you work on your supporting elements of that character. Like for this one, it was a dancer wearing a flashy shoes. So I actually had to focus not only on the character, which was a dancer, but also focus on its supporting element, which was the shoes, and highlight that in my drawing. This one up here was a girl at church. And again, I had to highlight the little girl in the congregation at church, figure out how to do all those things. But today we're focused on this one. So let's talk about this one and let's get to it. Now we fast forward to 2019, July, almost a year later. And this is how I started to make my sketchbooks. I started to do cleaner cuts. It's not as crudely cut. I started to make it be more of a size that I can manage. As you can see, even though that was a very big book, I didn't draw on the entire page. I actually split the page in half. So from doing this, I learned that I needed to work in smaller sketchbooks. And so when almost a year later, when I started to do these cleaner cuts, smaller sketchbook, more manageable. And this is made from Drawing Carton. I think I have a video where I showcase these books. So just check the video library and you'll see me doing these books and putting these books together. I don't think this is the one I actually colored. I think it was the other one. I think this was already drawn. But this is made from the Pacon Drawing Carton, which I found is so much more better than the Bristol board. It holds the markers better. It actually works better with colored pencils. First piece, this is watercolor base markers. This is water-based markers. It holds it better. This is coloring pencils. Let me get a marker piece here. This here is alcohol-based marker. So it actually holds marker better. There is the bleed through, and to prevent the bleed through, I have a paper guard that is taped on to the back of the sketchbook. So there's a paper guard to prevent bleed throughs. So for me, this Pacon Drawing Carton just holds markers better, and it actually holds water-based markers better, and it also holds coloring pencils better. And that's why I choose, when I do sketchbooks, I use this Pacon drawing paper. Drawing Carton. Anyway, I have my drawing all pre-drawn up, so it's just now to put it into my sketchbook, hence why I have this here. And let's get to it, okay? I am done. No, this was the first one. It's time to the coloring. And OMG, I just realized something. I used coloring pencils for this. And I thought I used markers, because this one was the Hoo marker set I used, but for this particular one's actually coloring pencils. So yeah, there we go. There's my dancer all drawn up, all lined up. What do you think? An improvement? I thought I was using markers, but now that I look at it closely, it was actually not markers, it was actually colored pencils that I used. And I always thought, so I'm gonna put these back up. This is actually the Hoo 80 set classic edition. These are not the brush markers. Remember that video that I put up where I said buy the art supplies that you're going to use? I'm not going to use those brush markers, so I didn't get them. Not that they're not a great product, I just know that they're not for me. So let me go and grab my color pencils and let me show you what color pencils I probably may have used on that first drawing. Okay, sorry about that. I thought I used markers. Okay. Well, it was probably these that I used. This is the Milan 36 set Big Lead, and I use these. So let's open this up. Ooh. I told you guys this is one of my favorite coloring pencils to use. So as you can see, they're well used. So let me put this off to the side here. You will still see it in the picture a little bit. Yeah, let me put that there a little bit. I have my swatch here. Okay, I have to bring this. I have a holder where I keep my swatch. That's what I'm playing with right now. Okay. Trying to make sure it's sized properly. Okay, there we go. Sized properly. And okay, let's get to it, okay? That's it. I'm finished. I'm all colored up. I try as much as possible to stick to the original color scheme. I will show a picture of these side by side so you can see. And I also stick to the glitter shoes. Believe it or not, he was wearing glitter shoes. I'm not sure if they're glittering. I hope you can see it a little bit there. Yeah. So I try to make sure that he's wearing his glittering shoes because he should be wearing a flashy pair of shoes. And when I think flashy, I think lights, I think glitters. So that's why I have it there. And I try to incorporate colors that are in the shoes that are not in the overall piece. So he's merely light green or yellow green and green. And his shoes is yellow and green. In the original photo, it was just yellow and green were his shoes. I used the glitter gel pen, but because it's supposed to be flashy, I just incorporate some pink. So yeah, and I gave him a little background so he can be dancing and he's in the spotlight. What do you think? Tell me what do you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.